All right, so we'll do some introductions here real quick. Gabe Cordova, I'm the GM over at Maverick, but also been in real estate for 20 some years, building teams, working a lot in CRMs, a lot with Follow Up Boss, and getting it going with a lot of teams to improve our processes, profitability, what's going on, work running and improving our lead conversion with Robert Slack in the database. So big part of my job there is, are we utilizing Follow Boss, Maverick, Wailopo, all the different tech, Fellow, any of that? What tech is touching our database? And are we getting higher conversion? And for me, that's about 1.9 million people that is in that database that we're constantly monitoring and seeing what we can do to get more conversion out of it. Everything we're talking about today is not theory. It's really what we're doing, best practices, to give you guys some tools to really help get better conversion, and more specifically, plug the leaks, meaning where are deals falling out that we have control over, to either create some automations and use our tech to leverage and spotlight, saying, hey, you're about to lose some deals here. You should focus here. Or areas that are falling out, that there's some automations that my man Will's going to help you guys create and do. So, Will, you want to give a quick intro?
Yeah, hey, I'm Will. I actually manage the Follow Up Boss instance that our Follow Up Boss sales team uses. So kind of a meta role, but I get to be in the weeds, making sure that all of our follow-up systems, automations are on point. So if you've ever talked to Fub Sales and they stopped following up with you, send me a message. I need to be on top of that.
Love it. Love it. So this is a follow. So this is going to be a little bit organic. I want to kind of set the stage for everybody here. This is a follow up. And actually, let me ask this. Who on here came to the workshop that Will and I did at Unlock in Vegas last month? Last month. Seems like forever ago.
Yeah.
Early month. Were any of you at that event? Because I know that's where a lot of the people, it was full. We added the second session, but I think both were completely full. So that's why we wanted to add another one here. So we're going to make this a bit more organic because we have that availability to do so. We're going to do kind of an overview of what that was, but we're organic and about you guys being able to ask questions, to be able to go a little bit deeper in all that. So I'm going to kill video right now, just since we're screen sharing, see if that helps. But yeah, the whole thing was about identifying different opportunities in our lead funnel. So for those not sure what a lead funnel is, that's just really, when they come into our database, we call it top of funnel, right? They're new. And as we prospect and nurture and bring things, they come down to the lower end of the funnel. And when it's coming out the bottom of the funnel, these are our deals, right? The income, the paychecks that we're wanting to have and do. So again, we've already done our introductions. What our class was about is just this: where are leads dropping off, right? And creating some structure and some framework around what we should be doing to lose less of the opportunity that's in our database, like plug those leaks, right? That's really what we're doing. And we want to do some hands-on exercises and things that we're going to do. A lot of this was from the workshop, so I wanted you guys to be able to see some of the slides that we had. We'll also share these out, modified a few of them to make a little bit more sense for this kind of replay. But you guys will have access to all of this and what we're doing and the hands-on. Also on this, please feel free to jump into chat if you have a question or want us to go a little bit deeper. That's kind of the benefits of doing this kind of more deep dive, is to be able to do that with you guys and be able to do that. So we'll go through some. So we have a workbook that we put together. All right, we're going to go through some of these. We probably won't do the full on because we only have an hour now. And what did we have there? Do we have 2 hours? I can't remember how much time we had to go through.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
We had 90 minutes. All right. And we were kind of scrambling there. So we've got a cool workbook that we're going to that we're going to be talking about here. And I am curious, actually, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I'm curious. Thank you, Katie. I am curious. Some of you that were there, we went through this workbook. You should have access to this already, but we did an exercise. And I'm curious, who on here right now, Tom, for the most part, it's you and Katie right now. Oh, Melissa's in there a little bit too. So a couple others. Are we agents on teams? Are we team leads? Let me know. Who do we have in the room or in the webinar? Are you guys team leads? Are you agents? Team lead, ISA, solo. So solo, you're the team lead, you're the agent, and you're the ISA. Congratulations. You get to wear all the hats right now. So you'll probably love this. We want to automate as much as possible. So mostly team lead. So again, solo is going to be a team lead. ISA. All right, perfect. So this first tab on the worksheet, we talked about it. It's really understanding what our worth is. All right. And I'm just going to show you guys a quick overview how to do this. If you're a team lead, I would do this with your team. I would just start asking questions, right? I want to focus on the buy side here because that's where we tend to lose, I think, most of our opportunity and funnel, right? I would just ask them, hey, if you were to sit down and Tom, you're pretty reactive here. So anybody wants to play along, let's do it. But this is how I do it. Throw these numbers in chat. All right. If you were to just sit down, uninterrupted time in the database, do nothing else. I only want you to think about the hours spent prospecting, literally just talking to people in the database when they're triggering priority alerts, because they're in the smart list, because they're in whatever it is, uninterrupted, only going to talk to these people on the buy side to set a solid appointment, whether it's my Zillow, my whatever, to get an appointment. How much time would you take to set a solid appointment, right? And I would just ask for the averages. Let the team speak. They'll start throwing numbers out. I think almost every time we did this in the two classes, and I've done this live, most of the time when people are talking about this, numbers are going to range anywhere from 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours. The average you're probably going to hear, I throw averages in here, you're probably going to hear right around 5 or so like that. Just throw in whatever the average is. Same thing. All right, you've got your appointment. Now just showing homes, opening the doors, talking. So Tom put in 3 to 4, right? Tom, when you do this, yep, everybody's going to get the spreadsheet. All right, we're going to send this to everybody. When you guys do this as the team lead, round it up a little bit. You're going to see why. All right, so if you're saying, I'm hearing 8, I'm hearing 2, I'm hearing 3, throw in 5. I don't care. Throw in 6. All right, now you've got it. How much time? I know you got to take people out. I'm not talking drive time to and from. Most people don't get paid to drive to and from work. But how much time are you opening doors, whether you take them out once or twice? We've got the one and dones that we get. We love those. We've also got the other people that we have to take out multiple times. But how much time are we spending just walking these properties, right? Just opening doors where I'm actually showing the homes. They're going to start throwing out numbers, right? Again, sometimes I showed them one home, we wrote it up and got it. I showed these people 50 homes, right? Whatever they're going to do. But how much time? If it takes 2-3 hours to show 4 or 5 homes, you take them out a few times. What is that number? They're going to throw out, I think this is usually in that 8 to 10 range. I'm just going to throw 10 hours of actually just opening the doors, right? Showing the homes, nothing else. All right, you found the home. How much time, unless you're an attorney, we're not writing contracts, we're filling in blanks and sending them. So I usually verify if I have any attorneys in the room. That's only ever happened once. So we're filling in blanks. How much time are you filling in blanks and hitting send and then responding with counter offers? How much time, if I just look at the contract negotiation part, right? Writing the offer, hitting send, not how much time waiting, just the time I'm filling this out, waiting back, just filling in the blanks to get to the acceptance. You're going to have some people, that takes me 30 minutes, takes me an hour, it takes me, let's just say you're going to spend 3 hours, which I can't imagine, of just filling in blanks and emailing back and forth. But whatever the room's average is, throw it here. All right, you're under contract during escrow. You got a walkthrough, you got an inspection. How much time during escrow are you spending on this file only, right? Count your closing time of an hour, count your walkthrough of an hour, count your inspection, maybe a couple addendums, whatever they're going to say. That's usually in the 2-3 hours. I always round up. And then, you know what, I'm going to throw an extra hour or 2 in here just because I missed it. All right, all the formulas are here. All right, what's your average price? Now, if you're doing this for your own team, put in your average price. Ours is about 425,000. All right, so you're going to see in my formula, I know not all commissions are the same, so please don't yell at me. I have to put an example. I'm putting in 2.5 as the average. Some people average higher. You probably know what your average closing commission is on the buy side. You can edit that in the formula if you want to. All teams are different, so you could also edit this. I threw in probably the most common for the example. Most people on a company generated split, if you're the agent, 50-50. I threw on here, maybe if you're a sphere, on a little bit better. But what I wanted you to see is even at a 2.5 commission, 50-50 split, your time to do some of the stuff that Will and I are going to be showing you is worth over $200 an hour, over 300 on your sphere. Now, these numbers drastically change. Tom, since you're on here, what's your average sales price on your team? Let's just use yours as an example real quick. What's your guys' average sales price on your buy side if you had to guess? All right, right about what you have. Perfect. So we're going to be right in there. Play with these numbers. I would ask them, where else have they worked where they're making $200 an hour? Where else are they going to go? We've got to start focusing on what our time is worth and understanding how much time is going in to working in our business, whether it's out in the field with our clients or in the database, right? And that can even be creating some automations and creating things. I need them to focus on this. What are you doing that's worth $212 or $318, whatever it is, change the numbers, right? All this strategy is going to work. So that workbook is in there for you guys to use and go through there. Now, we want to do a little bit of audit, right? Will?
Yes, sir.
So, and I don't know, did you pull up a follow bot? I can pull up one. Ours is in transition being swapped over, but this is one of the exercises that we had everybody pull up.
Yeah, I had our demo account up, which is very obviously fake leads. So let me get one that
Jump. Yeah, while he's pulling that up, why we want you guys to do this, I think sometimes is we don't really understand what's coming in, right? I think you guys need to pull up, whether you're an agent doing this or your team lead, just do a quick audit. What's come in the last 30 days? What's literally coming in? And there's a few things that we like to look at and pull up. So let me actually, I'll jump in as well. We can go back and forth. And I'm going to turn on blur mode before I get yelled at. Hold on, let me do that quick. Let me do that quickly. That's not right. Power up. Sorry. Clicked to the wrong spot. Blur mode. All right. Done been blurred. All right. So I'm going to clear this out. So one of the audits, just to kind of look at what's going on in your database, simple as coming over here, right? Created less than, and just throw in 30 days, right? I want you guys to kind of start seeing what's coming in. It's going to show you a number, what's happening, right? And there are a few things that I'd like for you guys to kind of look, just spot checking in the funnel to see if there are any holes. So I'm curious, you can throw it in chat. What are some of the things we might spot check to see if we have any holes in our funnel when it comes to new things coming in? Anybody? Any of you? Anybody? Speed to lead is a good one. We're actually going to get there. Will's going to show us some stuff on there. I love it. I like to look for some more glaring holes in that. And we're not perfect. We're going to find them because stuff's coming in all the time that we're missing. Speed to lead's a good one. Glaring holes, like I love to come in here on this last number of times, follow up first 10 days. Love that. Tom is on this. Like how many calls, how many making. A big one I like to look for is empty. And I know we're gonna have a chunk. Look at that, 235. What happened here? What's coming in now? This database is massive. Most times I do this with a team. This is like, 5 or 10 or 7, but do this exercise. What's come in the last 30 days? And I just clicked on last communication is empty. Is something maybe getting filtered a certain way that it's not getting hit? This is an easy, just kind of funnel check that you should be doing maybe once a month. So just make sure, do I have something coming in that's getting routed incorrectly or a different way where we're getting missed? Easy lay down. Most of us have, Tom, I can already tell, and I'm going to use you since you're in chat, right? Speed to lead. There are things that you're looking for, a number of contacts, but I'd be curious, right? Check this out. Be watching this. Maybe you have an agent came in that uploaded some information in there that they're not getting it, that we want to look for to see, is there something getting missed, right? Is there something getting missed in this new lead funnel? And I just lost everything. It stopped sharing everything. So hold on, I'm going to pull it back up here, get my deck back up here. All right. So just an easy audit of what's going on in the last 30 days. That's a glaring one. Smart list. Are they going into a smart list? Anything like that? Anything you want to add here, Will?
Yeah, we're looking for patterns, anything that suggests that an expectation isn't being met. People we've communicated with that are still in lead stage, people like Gabe said that haven't been communicated with. Like, think about how do you want people interacting with leads as they come in, and what's the story the data tells if that's being done properly or not. And what you're looking for are saved filters or lists that you can use to monitor and to eventually build some accountability automations that we'll take a look at.
Yep. Yeah, that's another good one, right? Understanding your stages. Like, what do I have in here? We use new versus lead just because doing some Zillow stuff like that. But of my brand new leads, how many are still in the new stage, right? I've got 52. So here's another thing, like what's going on? And when I look at this, like, wait a second, I got some training to do because I see people communicating. I see things going. These are clearly not new. This is a training opportunity now with my team. This would be a great, most of us that do huddles, office meetings, sales meetings, things like that, like I'll speak for myself here, but I bet you guys can relate. We're constantly like, oh, what am I talking about today? What am I talking about today? What am I going to cover? It's a real pain, right? Why not once a month you do a quick audit? Hey, we're going to jump into the database as the team lead, look at everything. How many new leads come in the last 30 days? No touch. Do we have any misses here? What's going on? Maybe it was somebody didn't upload Sphere, did an event, client appreciation part. What's happened? Hey, how many are still in new, right? Just a quick audit. And these are a couple easy checks of what's going on in the database to see what's happening. Do this once a month, right? Perfect. So if you have a weekly office meeting or sales meeting, all right, you've got one of them covered, your primary. We're just going to go through the funnel. And then this will start opening up conversations, right? When you start looking and clicking on some of these things about what's been happening. So simple, just easy funnel check of what's going on there to get that going. So all right, I know we're doing an overview. We're going to open up. Ooh. Here we go. I like this one. Are you all on the same page? All right, so we got oh, Nick and Melissa are participating now too. I love it. So Nick, I think was it. Can I get the spreadsheet? Yes. Were you a team lead? Tom's a team lead. We have an ISA, a solo. Katie's a team lead. All right. So Katie and Tom, I'm going to pick on you. Then I'm coming after you, solo agents and IS. And Melissa, you get to be in the first round of getting picked on. If I was to audit your team members right now, if we were to throw up a poll, right, and we asked them to define the stages in the CRM, would they all have the same definition for those stages and what it means? What should be happening in that stage? What touch points should be happening in that stage? So and this is a safe place. We're all learning. If I was to audit the team members, so again, all that. Tom's at 75%. Ooh, oh yeah, the ISAs, yes, I will agree with that. But the agents probably not, right? Likely not, Katie. Now, I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you have, I love it. ISAs are my favorite. I love it. Do you guys have, I'm just putting this back on there, do you have somewhere in your, whether it's in your, that talks about every stage, what does it mean? And what is the expected follow-up and what happens if it's not? Is this documented and visible and easy for everybody? So they're playing from the same set of definitions. I know we teach it a lot of times, but is it visible? Love it. Katie's killing it. Most teams do not. Ooh, got some ballers here. I love it. A lot of these teams, I go in and I see like 2 different versions of warm or 3 different versions of hot or 3. Like, are we all on the same page? So if you are, great. If not, one of the tabs down here on the workbook, I actually put what our old stages were. We're also, we do a lot of Zillow now. We had different stages. We adopted the Zillow stages for all of our leads. So I will put on this document for you guys what our old stages were, what they became. I also put in here how we use it, what happens in this stage. Revitalization for us is if it gets taken back, if certain things aren't done. And then some of the cadences. Throw it away, never look at this page, rip it off, use it, call it your own, whatever you want to do, but wanted to give you guys a starting point of something if you don't have something like this. If you're going through and have, I got a heart, yay. If you, I swear, guys, I see a lot of times, I see warm, I see, I can't even, like hot, very hot, money. Like, my advice here is simplify. Make sure your stages are covered. I love one of the things Follow Up Boss did with time frames, right? Because nurture is a big dumping ground where everything goes to die. Use time frames. If you're not familiar, we'll get into it here in a second. I'll stop talking and let Will go. But on this document is also some stages. Use it as a starting point. Make it your own and get going. But make sure you're all on the same page. Another great document. Those of you who said you have it, this is another great document to review on sales meetings. Agents forget. We know it. We have to remind people a lot of times what to do. All right. Yes, I put it in here again because I know people are going to be asking. Workbook's going to be sent to everybody. Um, hands-on reporting, lead response time. Somebody said speed to lead and some things like that as we're inspecting these new leads. Will, do you want to kind of show us where some of this is at and talk about some of these reports?
Absolutely. Let me get into screen share here. Just kind of picked an account of one of our agents and residents here, so we're on blast here. All right, so a lot of times when we're looking for this, what we're going to go to is the speed to lead report is kind of our default here, and let me set this to a wider time frame so we pick up more data. But what this takes us to, it's kind of blurred here, but this is our source report. You can see it takes us to the lead sources section. Um, and we can see our speed to lead by source, but it's not extremely useful that way. We're looking more like agent by agent. So a little bit of a hack here. We actually want to go over to our agent activity reporting. And then in this drop down here, how quickly do we follow up on leads? And let's set it to like our web leads, right? And then you have it. Let's get this sorted so we have actual values on top. We're going to be able to see just person by person. Hey, where do we have a quick speed to lead? Where are we lagging behind? Here, if these are the numbers we're looking at, we're going to be having a lot of conversations. We want to get this down under 5 minutes. Um, and if we're doing a lot of like high volume lead generation, this is a good place to look for where are there opportunities to bring the averages up. It's going to be imperfect because if you have someone coming in at 1 in the morning, they were browsing Zillow in the middle of the night, you don't necessarily want your agent calling them at 1:02 a.m. It's okay to leave that for 9 or 10. But on average, we're looking for trends. We're looking for big differences from agent to agent. So, clearly we might have something going on where leads are coming in and for some reason we're taking a while, but we're in this baseline of about a days of average. If we see the 9 days and the 19 days, that's when we might start having those conversations of like, hey, where's this variation coming from, right? And do that lead audit that we just did on an individual basis to try to identify those issues.
I love that. Who I'm curious, is anybody in here actually using this report and looking at it or using it in a different way? Love to hear what you guys are doing because I think this report, some of these that we want to be looking at. I think this is another great one to review with our teams on the actual huddles and things like that. So want to make sure that we're actually using these in certain areas and that we're showing it, right? A lot of this data is great to have, but we really should be showing it, right? Showing what's going on and all that. So I'm just curious, and I froze up again there. Looking at it on a monthly basis. I love that. I love that.
Awesome.
One of the things, and talking about calls, one of the things that I love to do, and I like to go a bit deeper, right? I love Follow Boss. We're going to put that out there. I am Follow Boss through and through. Will knows this, teach it all over the place. But there's sometimes I want to go deeper into the funnel, right? I hope everybody has call recording turned on to be able to understand what we're saying, what agents are saying, to learn and coach from. So one of the things that I love to use, again, going a bit deeper in here on Maverick, and we have a lot of integration partners we're gonna share with you guys. Maverick is one that we're using a ton because to me, it's not about always getting more leads and more leads. It's understanding what's happening through some of these metrics and being able to specifically coach to it and improve conversion on what we're going. So I just pulled up a couple of our teams here. The calls are great. Speed to lead is fantastic, but we want appointments. We want conversations. And there are just times, and I'm just using some real numbers. I'm not picking on any agents. We've got a lot of newer ones we've brought in. And I want to share some of that because we're going to go through. But what I love is Maverick will also go in, listen to these calls for me and tell me what's being said on them, right? So I don't have to go listen to all of these calls. So for example, right now, I'm just in our AI call grading and I'm looking in the last 30 days. And there's some criteria on here that I love, like it'll score the calls overall, right? Or overall based on what it got, right? Did they get appointments? Did they build rapport? Did they get motivation, location? A lot of these things, the basics that we need to get. And it's going to tell me right off the bat, who are my top scoring agents? Who are my lowest ones that might need to be doing some more? It's going to break it down. This is a big one. This is a massive one that we're focusing on right now. And I'm specifically picking things to show not all are perfect, but I need to find out, are we even asking for the appointment? This is a big one. So we talk a lot about speed the lead and how many calls and all that. And if we are not going on and listening to every phone call to find out what's going on, we are missing a lot of spotlight of what's happening. We started improving the amount of appointments set by just starting to focus on who are my people that are not improving. So I want to show some progress. Oh gosh, dang it. We were only asking for the appointment 10% of the time in the previous month with this group of agents that were coming in. All right. It's getting better. We've gone up to almost 20% of the time, not near good enough what we need to do. But what it's done is, I'm not listening to 76 phone calls to find out and having a little ticker to go through, but I can find out, all right, Frank's asking for it, whoever's not, these people are not, I know who to focus on. When you start getting more appointments and more deals because you're changing what you ask for, guys, that's a game changer in your business, right? We started setting way more appointments because we just started learning how to ask for it sounds basic. This sounds basic, but sometimes the most simple things that we change in our business that we shed a spotlight on changes our outcome. All right. So we got to start focusing on who's asking. We got to get this up to 60, 70, 80% of the time. I get it. Not everybody needs but an appointment could be a phone call. Will can tell me that he's a year out. I know we're not going to go show homes, right? But on that initial call, what I'd love to do is set up a time where we can go through our buyer's guide, things that you can be doing for the next 6 to 12 months, prepare. You can have a phone consult that could be an appointment, right? Ask for a meeting to go deeper. You'd be shocked. And I don't know, you guys can throw it in chat and help me watch it because I can't see as well. Who in here is actually listening to their calls and keeping track of which agents are actually asking for appointments or not, right? We got some ISAs on here. That's great too. You can actually change this and show your ISA team versus your agents to start understanding. What I love is it starts breaking it down deeper too. All right. What percentage of the time are we getting their location? 57%. All right. We're getting better. Rapport building, 37. Ask for their timeline, only a third of the time, right? I can see where we need to start improving, right? Location of interest, that's great. We're getting better on some of these things, but we still have some areas. And again, I don't have to go listen to DJ. I know who's better at certain things and getting it. All right. Objection handling. Guys, you want to have another topic to talk about at your sales meetings and figure out what's going on. Katie's a boss over here. She's like, I do this. I love it. All right. What are the objections? Right. We can have our agents tell us. We can go listen to the phone calls, or literally we can just have AI scanning all the calls and tell us what are the objections, who are doing great at handling it, who are the ones that are not doing great at handling objections. So we know what needs to be role played, what needs to be talked about. All right. So just we're going into speed to lead and some stuff like that. But what can we do to go deeper into those metrics to plug the leaks, right? We can have great speed to lead and be hammering the phones and making all the calls. But a lot of times, if we don't ask for the appointment, it doesn't just surface, right? And I'm sure our ISA teams on here and stuff like that get this. But unfortunately, a lot of our agents don't. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper on that because I know we already did the examples in there. I know that we have a lot of ISAs on here. We're setting appointments on there, but let's think about that. We set an appointment for an agent. Sometimes they reschedule. Sometimes they no show. And do they always buy on that first visit? They don't. So I want you to really think about this if you're on the ISA team as well. At this point, most teams, the agent has to be comfortable about asking and setting that next appointment. And it is surprising to me, and I see this a lot with our team. That's why I'm going to do it. We set a lot of appointments with our ISA team for our agents. They're still not great about getting it back on the calendar sometimes. It's kind of, I'm sure you've seen this, Will, or heard it, team leads. All right, great. It was nice meeting you, Will. Hey, I'll set you up on some listing alerts. Let me know if you see anything, if you want to go back out and look at it again.
Yeah.
Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart almost every time. We're not asking for the appointment. We're putting it back on them to do it. So, all right, you want to do another quick poll and like a little audit? Do you have one pulled up, Will?
Yeah, let's see. Let me get that going. No contact in 7 days.
Yep. So now we're wanting to go in and just find out. And we use Zillow as an example. You can do this with any, but you don't even have to use tags. I'm going to give you guys another great takeaway here. But who is in our nurture stages that don't have follow-up within 7 days? Here, I'll kill my screen. We should have smart lists for this. Hopefully everybody does.
Yeah, here we go. So let's get our stage to nurture. There we go. So we've got a few. A lot of these are in pawns, so I would probably exclude some of these pawns in most cases. A reassign pawn and an ocean pond to exclude.
And he's pulling those out. So we're able to see who's assigned to agents on this. But for those
Yeah.
that have ISAs or those that have agents that are wanting more opportunities and you're utilizing pawns, these are great people that are sitting in the pawns that are slipping through the cracks as well.
Yeah. And here we have just a few that are assigned out that we could jump in and audit and see like, hey, what's going on? Do we have a time frame in place? Which looks like in many cases we don't. We could actually filter for that as well. And yeah, how long has it been? What's been going on? We're not obviously diving into any of these actual conversations on the webinar, but where does this constitute a leak, right?
Yep. Yeah. So you guys can do, and he mentioned timeframes. I'm curious, are you guys, let me do this because I already know we have some, who's not using timeframes? Do we have anybody not using timeframes or not super comfortable with how timeframes work, especially when it comes to our smart lists? Because it's essential, right? We've got to get this done. I don't know if there's one, if Tiffany doesn't have one in there, I've got one pulled up on how you can build
Go
a
ahead.
couple smart lists regarding timeframes. So for us, we work funnel backwards. We work bottom of funnel down, right? I don't want to reach out to new people if I've got people with their hand in the air. I want to talk to my AI, people that are talking. But when I get through all my priority alerts in certain stages, I get to my nurtures, right? My people that are in nurture stages. So basically, we have our short-term nurture and our long-term nurture, right? So basically, who is in the time frame is 0 to 3 or 3 to 6 months that have not got an outbound text or an outbound call in the last 14 days? Way too many. Now we're moving people around in here, so ours is a little bit of a mesh right now. I want to exclude, but pull, if you're in pawns, exclude the pawns, just pull up yours, but you need to see who's in these pawns, right? Long term for us is more than 20 days out. So we're excluding the 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and the people that told us they don't have plans are basically including that 6 to 12 and 12 plus. That's every 30 days for us. I put 28 days on here because I like to give the agents a couple days cushion before we start nudging. All right. So nudging on these, just if you guys are aware, hopefully everybody knows how to go in and mention somebody. So if I see this one slipping through and the agent hasn't reached out, I can see it's assigned to Perry. I can come in here, hit at Perry, right? I could type a note. Hey, looks like you're overdue on this one. You have some overdue tasks. Can you please reach out? But depending on your database size and what's going on, that can get very lengthy. Another thing I do love in Maverick, we want to do that is we've mimicked our rules. So if I see that people are in my long-term nurture that are overdue, I can literally expand this and I can see that. And again, we've got a lot of agents and a lot of leads, but I can see we got 1,100 people overdue. That's a lot of nudging for me. But even if it was 40, that's a lot of nudging. I can literally just click a button, type in a custom note. All those agents will get one notification with a list of their people, right? So I've got 78 agents with this many leads. Each one will get one list. It'll throw it in follow-up boss. It'll say, hey, could you please reach out to it based on this rule? And it literally tells them what it is, right? Hey, these are in the long-term nurture. And it's been more than 30 days since they've been contacted. So I can literally build all these rules to do my nudging for me. And I've got a new one I want to actually highlight really quick, just because I'm in here. Right here. I also, again, love follow-up boss. I'm always giving the disclaimer. But in follow-up boss, here's another leak. This is one I would underline and put a star on if you're not monitoring this, especially if you have a high amount of calls going out from ISAs and or agents. I can go in on follow-up boss. I can go into follow-up boss. I can go into reporting. I can go into calls. I can put in my time frame and I can see if there's a missed call. Let me just go up here. Everyone. And I can see who's missed calls, but then I have to click on the 3 people. Then I have to look at each one to see if we've called them back and if we've secured it. Again, I just like to be efficient. One of the things I love that Maverick does with Follow Boss, it pulls all that data. And I can literally see that I have got 15 people right now that have reached out to us, have called us. The assigned agent has missed the phone call, and it's been more than 2 hours since we have sent them a call or a text. So I can instantly just nudge. we nudge on this multiple times a day, because I don't want days to go by on this. So it's important when we're looking at our nurture, whether it's short term, long term nurture, that we are hitting a cadence and we're nudging our agents and reminding them on the different cadences that we need to be following and what to do on there. Katie, hey Gabe, can I get a recording of this? Yes, the recording will be sent out to everybody. And can I say that one more, Katie, sorry, I don't know how long that's been sitting there. What part do you want me to say again? For the call report. So something that you should be monitoring. All right, if you want to monitor Follow Boss, you can, but I'd literally be going through and finding out in whatever time frame, right? So even if it's in the last 7 days, whatever that time frame is, and you can do this in Pub, it's just more manual steps that I like to be very, very efficient to go through who are missing phone calls. But a lot of these missed calls, I can click on it, then I can come into it. So this is a voicemail. This one's not been followed up with since yesterday, right? So I have to click one by one to see which ones have a missed call, and then have been called back. Okay, so perfect. So we missed a phone call down here, coming back through. I can see that it's taken care of, but I have to click every single one of them. I like to be a bit more efficient. One of the things I love in Maverick is just time efficiency. Is one of the rules. It tells me who have I missed phone calls, and I can edit this, but they have not received a return call or text in the last 2 hours. And now I can change this. We like 2 hours, and this gets nudged 3 times a day, right? So that they can be getting notified, because I don't want too much time to go by, right? Especially if you're making a lot of outbound phone calls. This is low hanging fruit. Do not miss this. All right. This is just one of those metrics that if you're on here, if you're a solo agent, you're whatever, obsess about missed phone calls. And now if I'm an agent, right, I'll see it in my inbox. That's fine. It's easier to see and I can see I've done it. But from a team lead standpoint, monitoring my team, I can see it. It just takes more clicks in Follow Boss. One of the things I love about Maverick going through there, that I can just easily see that and do. Now, Bob does a great job of receiving cues from a lot of people on the workbook that we created. Man, the time is flying by. I got to shut up. One of the things that we tagged for you, or I built for you, is there are a lot of integration partners: Real Scout, Fellow, obviously Zillow, Ylopo, list goes on and on. Real Scout, Speculo, Rooster. All these people are sending signals into your CRM saying, hey, these people are doing these things. You need to reach out, or you need to nurture them. You should be incorporating these into your smart lists. A lot of us probably don't even know that a lot of these tags exist, or they're getting pushed. I've compiled a fairly complete list. There might be more because this changes all the time, but I put it together for you. Who is it coming from? What is the tag and what does it mean? So you guys have all of this in one spot. So if you want to start going into your smart list and creating some like high priority, wrong list, please hold. Some priority, high priority buyers, right? So when they're doing certain things, or high priority sellers, these are all those tags we've mapped to certain lists, right? So that we can get those through there. So I mapped those in there for you guys as well. All right. These are some of those integration partners I was telling you about. Ylopo AI, guys, if you're not monitoring any of the AI partners, Texting Betty, Ylopo, Call Action, please be monitoring these. Here's a bunch, right? That just any of these, make sure you're understanding how are they communicating with Follow Up Boss, and are you updating your smart list and using those so that you're not missing any of your nurture plans and automation. So I know there are a couple automations that we wanted to trigger or show them and build out. Will, do you want to show a couple?
Yeah. Jump onto the screen share. All right. I have a few that we've been looking at. Some of them we'll get into, I think, the appointments in a little bit more depth and asking for that second appointment. But I wanted to highlight how automations can be used in an accountability section. Uh, Lead pullback. This is a little bit dramatic. Hey, this didn't happen. We're taking the lead back. We're reassigning it to a pond or a new round robin. You might have a completely different approach where there's a nudge, or it flags a task for you, things like that. So the actions that are taken in this and the filters that you use can be different. But I wanted to highlight how you can build some accountability automation into your processes. This is a good one because ignore the manual trigger for now. But this is meant to start when a lead comes into your system. They come in through Zillow, they click a Facebook ad and fill out the form. This clock starts ticking an hour, 30 minutes. If that time has gone by and we haven't called them, we haven't texted them, we'll reassign. And one of the nice things about having an automation that does this is, hey, it wasn't me. It's just how the system works. You get to let follow-up boss be the bad guy. Like I said, maybe you don't want it to be a reassignment. Maybe you want it to be a note that notifies the agent, a task for you to audit the file. All those you can build. Just get rid of this reassignment, add another, you know, add a task, add a tag so it pulls it into a smart list for you to audit what happened. That's something that a lot of people don't think of is like you can use these automations to create a specific tag so that you have a list of people to check out, especially early in the process while you're looking for those trends. Where were we late? What story is this telling? They're all highlighted. One of the objections, or not objections, but one of the things that came up was, hey, what if a lead comes up in the middle of the night that goes through the round robin? We don't want to reassign. Uh, cool approach here is you can actually, in your trigger for this, we have that automation being run from our here pretty generic new website lead automation where they come into the website, the marketing campaign is starting in a separate automation from that accountability one. We use this email step that's going to run first before we invoke that automation. And we can set this to your office hours or between 8 and 7 so that it only starts the morning after the lead comes in if they've come in off hours. It'll start that accountability automation in parallel and continue with your marketing. Does that make sense? Is that easy enough to follow? Awesome. So yeah, be flexible about what conditions you're evaluating when you want that to run. One of the cool things about this other automation as well, and I saw we have in the chat, uh, yeah, the 90 minutes would start, yeah, after that email goes out. So that way we get to adjust for that, hey, what if they came in at 2 a.m. factor? We can also expand this where we could start the next audit automation at the end of this. So add another one. Hey, uh, we're gonna actually probably before the conditions, this is happening, but do we want to invoke a 7 day audit? Hey, have we made enough calls? Are they in the right stage? So you can really get intentional about when do you have these automated checkpoints that are going to complement your accountability smart lists and flag people for you to review, tap in another agent, or get it into a pond when needed, when the process just is flagrantly not being followed.
Love that. And I hope, I think this is probably one of, I don't know, taking a guess, but probably one of the most underutilized features, I think, within Follow Boss are people really getting in and updating some of these automations, right?
Yeah,
Creating them, using them.
yeah. If all your automations are email drips, there's a lot of opportunity to get a lot more value out of it.
Yes, yes. Love it. All right, I'm going to jump back in. I know time wise here, and you kind of touched point on it. So we did some automations, went in there, appointments. All right, so we're going in there. We've talked about doing the audit, creating and make sure we don't have any like holes. We've talked about some nurturing, right? What are we saying to set more appointments, creating automations to have these touch points and all of that. How are we at managing appointments? And I'm going to have to really watch myself here because this is probably my biggest soapbox this year and probably even going into next year because we as an industry spend so much time on speed to lead and 10 days of pain and all this, and it's about setting appointments and we're getting there. And what I'm seeing, and this was us as well, we don't do a great job about managing the appointments, inspecting the appointments, right? These are bottom of funnel. What happened on the appointments? All right. So I am curious. We only got a few people in chat, but I'm curious who in chat has, who on here, throw it in chat, has actually gone in and customized the appointment types and the appointment outcomes within Follow Up Boss so it matches your business. And I know the ISA teams in here, Katie, I love it. Right? Most have not. If you're sitting there and you're watching this or you're listening, going, what are you even talking about? Let me see if I um da, 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 try am I in the wrong spot? Hold on. Is it report might be reporting appointments?
Yeah.
All right. You have all the different outcomes, right? So we've done ours. What are the different types of outcomes? What are the different appointment types, right? The admin of the account, the owner of the account, can edit these and create these just like other parts of it. So if you have not done these, please do so. Just like stages, this needs to be shared with your team so they understand all the different types of appointments that are being set for them. What are the expectations? A buyer appointment, seller appointment. What are the outcomes? What I've seen team after team, ours included, some of the top, we're number 4 team in the country. And this is a big hole in our business. I've been on calls with major teams, a big hole. They've not updated the appointment types and outcomes, so they can't monitor it. All right. If you don't even have an idea where to start, guys, this is on the workbook as well. Just a starting point. I threw in some, there's some ISA ones. Rip these off, change them, throw them away. I don't care. Here's a starting point for you guys, though, to make sure that you've got appointment types and outcomes and your team understands what they're for. Uh, Here's the big thing that I'm seeing, though, from team to team to team to team is getting the outcomes. What happened on these appointments? All right. I can pull up a long list and follow a boss. Follow a boss also, I think it'll also show the appointments on calendars. I can come in and filter through just the different types if I want to just look at buyer consultations or whatever it is. And then I can scroll through a little bit manual, but I don't have a way to find out which ones are just no outcomes or which ones weren't met versus are met. It's a very manual process. Love follow boss again, always giving the disclaimer, but I need more readily available. Who are my offenders? Who's not giving me my outcomes? I need to nudge people when these outcomes are happening. I'm going to jump back in here because this is my soapbox. I am proud of this number. So I just pulled month to date. I like to monitor this. I come into Maverick and I pulled my my appointments report. I like to just focus on the team generated. I don't really manage the agent sphere. So I'm just looking at team generated leads that we have set appointments on. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. When I started monitoring this metric early in 2025, the amount of appointments that did not have outcomes on a monthly basis was 97.8 or something like that. We were not managing or monitoring the outcomes. We're setting appointments left and right. We're killer. We're the number 3, number 4 team in the country. Guys, I would obsess with a couple metrics here. Appointments are great. The ones that are held and the agents are running with, that's great. Where we as team leads, as ISAs, I know we got some on here, and you guys, I know you're feeling the pain. How many times you guys set appointments and it's not met, or you don't know what the heck happened on that appointment? Is it Katie, whoever's in there? I know this happens all the time, right? Drives me crazy. I want a quick, easy way to find out what are my appointments. I can even say, hey, which ones are set by my ISAs? And I want to monitor those appointments. I can literally filter this any way I want, but I am going to obsess over these numbers right now. Why do I not have an outcome? Most of the time it's been a reschedule or something like that. Or which are the ones that were not held, right? These are the ones that they canceled or asked to reschedule. They didn't just, agent didn't just not update it. Guys, I can quickly come over here. Where are my no outcomes? Who are they? Or where are the ones that weren't held? What I see over and over and over, and we're just going to spot check a couple here, is, and I'm not going to pick on the ones today, but what I see a lot of times is if I come in here, I'm going to see notes where they came in and they say, hey, I couldn't make it. Something popped up. We need to reschedule. What's going on? So we need to schedule. What day and time works for you? At least there was an ask here yesterday morning, but it's over 24 hours later. And the person's on here. Folks, we need to obsess as much, if not more, than new leads with our appointments that were not held and don't have outcomes. These are real people, real contact information that agreed to meet with us. And if we started inspecting the appointments not held and don't have outcomes, I promise you, team leads right now, obsessing over this one metric and knowing what's going on will change your bottom line by more than you can even imagine. Now, I am not saying that not calling smart lists or calling new leads from your smart list isn't important. I'm just saying, ask yourselves, Do you put as much love and attention and accountability on inspecting your appointments and rescheduling your appointments for those that canceled, no showed, or needed a reschedule that you do into prospecting brand new registrations that you've never spoken to, who have not given you the time of day? And
Yeah.
most teams, they are not.
Use your no-show appointment outcomes as an automation trigger in Automations 2.0. It's a good way to incentivize the agents to actually use it because it can deploy that reschedule email automatically, tag them, all that stuff. And you can make sure that you have the right staging, the right messaging going out on an automated basis there.
Yep. Yeah. And we're down to, is that one that's pretty easy to show? Will, you want to kind of
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Let's do that. Let's show, because this is an area that I really am passionate about. Every team lead obsessing and getting the agents to obsess about it as well. They should be obsessing over their appointments.
Yeah. And it's all about like, hey, what needs to happen? So we've set our appointment trigger. We select what types we want to include in that. There might be some that we don't, but then select that outcome as well. No show. Here, we're doing a few things just to show how much you can get done with an automation like this. We added a no-show tag in case you want to have a smart list of, hey, who's ever not shown up to a meeting. Track that as a trend. Changed the stage. A lot of teams will have like a booked stage where we're not calling to set an appointment because they're already in there. If the agent forgets to restage out of that, that can definitely be a leak. So we want to make sure that we're automatically pulling it into, in this case, hot prospect because they did agree to meet, felt like a good bet there. And then sending an email right away on the agent's behalf. Hey, here's my Calendly link. Give me a call to reschedule, whatever that messaging is. And making just a reminder for the agent the following day. Hey, if they haven't reached out, give them a call. Make some
Okay.
outreach.
This is money. I mean, so, and I see this, I hear it when I'm in Follow Boss and I'm doing these audits for people. It's, oh, sorry, I can't make it. Let me know when's a good, and that's okay, but we're putting it on them. At a minimum, this is worth your time. We started this by talking about what's our time worth. It is worth getting in there and having an automation to get a calendar link or something back in their inbox, whether email, then go create a text, whatever it is. This is a moneymaker that is just not set up enough when we have these no shows, but we got to monitor these appointments and what's happening on them.
Yeah.
We actually turned out, the other thing I love in Maverick is after every appointment, it actually will text the agent. Hey, how'd your appointment with Will Gray go? Was it 1 met, 2 not met, 3 rescheduled? Like, and it'll update it and follow up boss for you because we just weren't getting it. And I'm showing all that because literally the whole point of this is plugging the leaks and making sure that we're just not missing this bottom of funnel information. So 2.0, I think this is what Will was just showing. There's a slide on that here for you guys. I mean, just go in and do a framework, get with your agents, identify some of these leaks that are happening, right? And just fix one, right? To try and wrap this back up, find one leak to fix. It could be that you're obsessed with the new stuff coming in that's not getting speed to lead, right? Whatever it is, it's, do you have the tags in there? Is it creating automations? If you truly do not know your appointment met rate, your appointment not met rate, or how many appointments are sitting in your follow box without outcomes right now, not saying the other leaks aren't important. ISA teams that I know are on here, solo agent that's on here, team leads, guys, by fixing some of the other leaks, it's great, but you're almost adding more fuel to the fire when it comes to not knowing your appointments. I highly recommend obsessing about that metric and fixing that one. Understand your integration partners, right? We're all paying for this. I love how Follow Boss integrates with so many people. Maverick's not the only one that reports on this. Find somebody that does it if you're not, but you've got to understand these metrics because it is easy money. It doesn't even become an expense. It's so inexpensive, like literally 1 deal a month that you're closing because of the spotlight showing you the leaks pays for it for months and months in advance. So so please check it out. So that's why it was built, right? Visibility. I love that Follow Up Boss and Zillow let us have a follow-up to this. Maverick was a big sponsor in doing this to help us shed light on that measurement, accountability, visibility. of what's going on. Fully integrated with your follow boss. If you guys would like to learn more about it, you don't have to. You still get the workbook. You get everything. You don't even have to scan this to get the workbook. You're going to get it automatically because you guys registered. But if you're wanting to, and we highlighted a small piece of it, but if you guys are wanting to learn more about finding which appointments aren't getting outcomes, which agents aren't asking for the appointment, which agents aren't asking for the follow-up appointments or getting the rapport, or how to mass notify and nudge your agents on the follow-ups that are falling behind or the missed calls, a lot of that stuff, it was built here. This isn't a dig on FUB. FUB can't build everything the way everybody wants it, right? Can't be everything to everyone. That's why they have integration partners. And what Maverick specializes in is really, the metrics, the accountability, plugging those leaks, helping you identify where you're missing deals, right? Where there are others like call action that for texting, or right for texting, or fellow for bubbling up more sellers and all of that stuff. There's great integration partners, right? Understand how they're all tying in. This is just one of them. But if you'd like to learn more about that, AI, it has a ton of AI role playing, all of that. Please get in there, check that set schedule one. If there are any questions, we got a couple minutes here. You would love to answer any questions. You're going to get the slides. Yes, Nick, we'll get these converted over. Send those out with you guys as well. Where's other great training resources for Follow Up Boss, Will, that they can reach out to or sign up for?
Yeah, if you want my go-to for like a really good deep dive into Follow Up Boss topic by topic is on our Follow Up Boss YouTube channel called Office Hours. Lee Adkins goes through just kind of feature by feature in those episodes, not just what it is and what it does, but the actual context in your business. So when I was getting started with Follow Up Boss a few years ago, that's how I learned it. And then I kind of just blazed through my onboarding because I'd binge watched that channel like Netflix. Uh, so that one is awesome for a deep dive. Our help center also, it's of all the tools out there, I think one of the most just really well documented, easy to follow. There's a lot of not just clear instructions, but screenshots, videos in there. So as generic as our help center sounds, ours is really, really solid for learning the basics.
Awesome. And then somebody's asking for solo agents. You can use it for solo agents as well.
Oh yeah.
AI role playing, any of that. I mean, we didn't even, again, I was the intent wasn't here to do a full Maverick demo by any means. We probably showed you 10% of what it does, but it pertained to this topic of plugging leaks and identifying more opportunities a little bit more easily, or some of the automation. So there's a lot in there from just standalone AI role playing if you're a solo agent wanting getting better. The training I did just before this was all with listing agents that weren't able to get price reductions. And we spent time just role playing with a bot, learning how to overcome objections from our sellers, the different seller personality types, and learning, right? Because it's listening. So yeah, I would definitely recommend reaching out, whether you're an ISA, any of that. It's definitely going to pulls everything from Follow Up Boss automatically. There's really nothing you have to manually do. It just dishes everything up in ways that you can take action on it. So parting words, Will, or anything you want to share, I guess, from your side, from the Follow Up Boss side, as we sign off?
I just echo, I put it in the chat, but a big part of the value of Follow Up Boss is the ability to plug into best in class services. We're focused on the calling, the AI, building the best way for your team to connect with their customers. We can't specialize in everything. So people who really make it easy to get that visibility, like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't take advantage of some of that at the scale that a lot of you are working at.
Yeah. And look into all the integration partners. Again, we highlighted Maverick today because it tied into what we were talking about. And it pulls it from Follow Up Boss, right? So if it's not in Follow Up Boss, Maverick's not going to help you. This is another great tool to encourage them to get everything in there so they've got the data. And here's what it is. I think we all know, I'll speak more from a team lead, sales manager perspective. We know that there's inefficiencies and things getting missed in the database because we're on those calls saying, I already bought, I already sold. And, shine the light on those. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to keep spending more and more money, adding more leads at the top of the funnel if we're missing them at the bottom. Those are the most painful ones. Those are the ones that are the closest to transact right now and the fastest to a paycheck. So don't be afraid of the data. Look into it, embrace it. And those are your fastest ways to increase your ROI and profitability. So, Will, we got to do it again. I love it.
Yes, sir. It was
I love
great.
it. All right, guys, we'll get this recording. Give us a couple days to get it processed and cleaned up, attach the workbook, the slides, all that, but we'll get it sent to everybody. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Will.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Gabe.
See you. Bye.